As for 64% of generations now, digital become their way of life. Nowadays, young generation has a really high expectations of the brands because digital is the way of their life. Expect everything on demand because they prefer self-serve. Young generation is impatient because they live on messaging. Hey, what happened? You look so stressed.
I'm stressed because I tried to call the contact center, but they keep me waiting. And I'm trying to chat the WhatsApp. I have to explain from the beginning.
Well, it wouldn't actually happen if you use Talent's new Epics, a communication platform as a service, to deliver a true omni-channel with multiple language experience across web, text, and voice. Customers want to engage with brands over their preferred communication channel, and they also expect fast and seamless responses.
Of more than 1,000 customers shows that Tallinn new epics in collaborations with Yellow.ai successfully reduced call volumes, improved first call resolutions and CS80 scores, and increased ROI overall across different industries.
Hi, long time no see. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. Thank you for asking, and thanks for meeting me.
Intelligence AI virtual assistant seamlessly with human assistant.
Telling new epics doesn't listen you just passively. We also understand you anytime, everywhere.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's virtual event. My name is Dini from Techinesia Indonesia, and I will be your host for today. As you all know, the title of today's event is Transforming Customer Experience for Conversational AI, Building a Memorable Brand. We will discuss various things related to customer experience, or as you know, as we call it CX, and we will also discuss some example from how technology, especially conversational AI or ML, can help marketers, business owners, and professionals who are dealing with customer engagement on daily basis to be able to build a memorable brand. So, before we start this event, I would like to thank all participants that attended for today's, that already registered, and also for all the special events, special thanks for our Talent Insight, Talent New Epics, and also Yellow AI as our partners for today's. They are very passionate about collaborating with us to bring such an important topic about customer experience technology. However, before we start for the first segment about the keynote presentation, we would like to start with a quick poll for all our audience. It will be just some short questions. I think for you that join via Zoom or maybe via YouTube, maybe. It's just a quick question about, do you agree if a better customer experience will result in increased customer retention? Is it a yes, a no, or a maybe? Let us know your comments and feedback on the chat. Parallelly, to make it more interesting, we will continue to bring some use cases from different vertical industries that will already implement the the conversational AI to deliver memorable customer engagement. And after that, we will answer some of questions that you can also put on the question Q&A segment, the Q&A chat from Zoom, or maybe you can drop on the chat in the YouTube. If you feel curious about how can we improve the CX of your business, don't hesitate to throw your questions. Without further ado, let's go with our first keynote from Heron Chele, VP of Business Strategy and Revenue from Yellow AI. He will talk about delighted customer and happier employees. I believe Heron already here. Hi, Heron. Let's see if we can get some uh, the virtual, we still have some issues. It's very normal. Have anyone already answered your poll? Let's see if most of you are agreed to think that customer experience is actually what we needed to make sure that both of either our customer to come back or Heron is here.
Hi,
Hello,
everybody.
Heron. Hi. Thank you for joining us today. We can't wait for your presentation. Please introduce yourself and also about Yellow AI, and happy to start your presentation whenever you're ready.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. First of all, thank you everyone for taking your time and joining this session. Thanks to Tech in Asia Indonesia and our partner Telin for setting up this insightful event. My name is Haren. I represent my employer, Yellow AI. Yellow AI is a conversational enterprise grade conversational AI platform uh, which is spread across multiple countries across the world. We are a Series C startup having a regional headquarters in Indonesia predominantly and spread across Asia Pacific as well, with base in Singapore, Malaysia, Philippines, Thailand, and across. We have 50 or maybe 75 to 80% of our customer base across Asia Pacific in Indonesia, and we are absolutely delighted for today's event. I hope I am visible, and I hope my screen is visible for all the participants. If there is any technical glitch you see, please let me know on the chat. Right. So I take this opportunity to get started by introducing the kind of market we see today. Right. In today's modern world, where as the way we saw in the video shown by the team, everything is more digital and more agile, right? Whether we are talking about customer expectations for brands or we are talking about employee expectation in a particular organization, right? The expectations and the way we cater or converse with them are rapidly changing and evolving, right? Making it tough for the employers and also the companies for their end customers to keep up with the pace and challenge a lot, right? What we typically see from a normal customer expectation point, or where we see the customer dissatisfaction, is when there are like too many issues, longer wait time, a delayed first response time, which we call it as FRT, too many repeated issues not getting solved on time, and there is no instant resolution, right? I mean, me as a customer of multiple brands, if the brand keeps me waiting for a longer period of time without an update on on my solution or update on my problem or my ask, there is a high probability that I might not come back again to make the purchase with that specific brand. Now that is a issue for people, correct? Secondly, what customer expects is a lot of personalization from brands when they try to cater to their customer experience, right? Now that could be expecting empathy, that is having somebody personally talking to them on their issues, or having somebody available for them instantly to solve their problem across 24 hours, knowing somebody's historic problems and context and solving or addressing problem accordingly, and then most importantly speaking to the customer in the channel of customer's choice and in the language in which the customer is comfortable in. Now these are a lot of expectations, isn't it? The way we or the way Okay, that's the customer front, right? Now let's understand the employee side of it, right? Employees today, after the pandemic, when they are working remote and they are working out of different geographies and people and places, what the employees want is seamless onboarding, right? Quick understanding about the company, the culture, the product, easy management of timesheets, right? Password reset, typical IT issues, right? And not going through the hassle of long set of documents to understand their job role, the KPIs and the KRAs, right? So, and then it is very important from the employee side or the employer side of it also, right? To understand the employee satisfaction, how happy is the employee with the expected job role, right? And all these kind of problem statements is what we have been typically observing for our consumers or our customers across Asia, right? I think predominantly in both the scenarios, whether it is customer facing scenarios or employee facing scenarios, what we generally tend to see is that the if you take a commonality between both of them, the typical expectation is highly personalized conversations, more amount of connectivity to the organization or the consumer in the provider relationship, or in the other case employee and the employer relationship. And then better experiences and more connected experiences is the typical pain point or the touch point, which is the overall expectation. Correct. This is where uh, we come into picture, right? And when I say we coming to the picture, we are not a typical chatbot. So you would never see us naming ourselves like we are any other chatbot, right? Yes, there are chatbots in the market with their own limitations, right? There are chatbots which might answer Q&A, right? There are chatbots which might respond and give statuses, but are they intuitive? Are they accurate? Do these bots, as the way we call it, are they conversational? Do they understand the pattern of a consumer? Do they remember the historic data of a consumer the way they speak? And are they geographically aligned to different set of audiences and their behaviors? Now that's the sort of limitations and the questions which the businesses have been seeing in the market, right? Now, today, when we speak about Yellow.ai, right? Yellow.ai provides a first enterprise grade conversational AI platform on which different kinds of virtual assistants with high end intelligence and with powered by dynamic NLP, which is our trademark product which we have developed within our platform, with which we can create multiple conversational virtual assistants. Now, these virtual assistants could be for sales, commerce, customer experience, and then internal use cases. It could power HR, IT service management, and any other internal function which the businesses require. Right now, in both the ways, right? Now, these virtual assistants boost customer satisfaction overall, also increase employee engagement when we talk about internal use cases. And this is what the platform, the benchmark platform powers or helps, right? The high level benefits for businesses look like this, right? It is using Yellow Eye, you're scaling for the future. So you have one platform with which you power your sales use cases. You power your CX, with which you power your retention. And as big as you grow as an organization, you can also help scale for multiple internal use cases. So you so so the business as a complete organization can do end-to-end automation on a truly omni-channel basis, that is being available to their employees and also their consumers in a truly omni-channel way. So we power, or the Yellow's platform powers, close to 25 to 30 plus channels with a seamless one point integration on which the businesses or the companies can be available on for their end consumers or employees, right? It is also driving efficiency, that is the tasks which the customer service reps go through, or internally which the HR teams or the IT teams go through, right? Doing the mundane tasks about password resets, or answering a typical general FAQ, or keeping a track of the historical purchase of the people, right? These are the ones which we call as L1, L2, and L3 queries, which generally come in from the consumers, are easily catered and tackled by these intelligent virtual assistants. In short, we call it as IVAs, right? Now, this yields in higher return, right? Retention of customers, which in turn brings retention of this revenue across these channels and scale of sales as well, because now the customers are truly omni-channel. The consumers come in from their channel of choice, which is increasing scale and a lot of retention as well. These are few of our customers who have seen different deployments of ours, right? So there are customers who have seen drastic lowering of call volumes because of our intelligent virtual assistants. People, there are customers who have seen super fall of tickets, right, after the IVA has been deployed for their customer experience. The CSAT has increased from 10 to 50%. It's more than 5x. And then efficiencies of these platforms performance grew 3x to 5x from 3 to 6 months of deployment. And here are a few use cases which we have seen built on this intelligent virtual platform, right? Virtual assistant platform, right? So when you talk about HR or internal use cases at a high level, it could be HR, IT service management, or process procurement, anything. We have seen use cases such as new hire onboarding, employee relations, employee engagement in terms of employee retention, onboarding process being appraisals being driven on HR bots. And when we speak about another internal use case, which is service management, we have seen incident management, knowledge management, and alerts and monitoring happen. Now, when we speak about more the other side of the business, which is mostly customer centric business, we have seen customer support use cases being driven, having a rare combination in Southeast Asia, which we call it as human plus AI, where we have powered the virtual assistants to solve the L1 and L2 queries, and then the humans take up from that conversations, the CX agents, and solve the L3 queries, which are more complicated. And in the future, which the bot themselves solves it. Now, then moving on to commerce cases where we have seen the virtual assistant drive the entire purchase of the of a requirement. Like for example, if you go to an e-commerce site and you want to purchase vegetables or any electronic gadgets and stuff, the virtual assistant has the intelligence to drive the user through the entire purchase module, and from product selection to the purchase to tracking of the order, everything the e-commerce virtual assistant can power the end user to, right? So these are the high level use cases which are powered by the platform. Moving on to the differentiators, right? So, in simple and straight, how are we different from a traditional chatbot? And what is the difference of having an intelligent virtual assistant built on Yellow AI platform? It is first thing first, it's a low code, no code platform on any business user who can just with clicks of a button build a dynamic and human like virtual assistant. Second is being multilingual. The platform and the bots built on the platform are available and which can converse in 135 plus languages with audiences across the globe. It is truly omni-channel, right? Wherein we support close to 25 plus 30 channels, which includes the likes of WhatsApp, WeChat, Line, Salo, and also the voice channels, right? Traditional IVRs, also being available on telephony for their end consumer to handle the end consumer queries, right? We have the platform possesses the capability of doing out of the box API integrations with any backend systems of the choice, whether it could be SAP HANA, SAP, Salesforce systems, Oracle systems, right? Doesn't matter what systems the customer is using today, the platform has the capability to have a one-click integration with all these backend systems, right? And very importantly, now comes the intelligence part of it, right? Not just speaking in the language of the choice, but also speaking to the context of the consumer. That is, if the consumer has done two, three, four purchases before on the bot, then the bot knows what could be the next requirement of the consumer, or what could be the follow-up question or concerns which the consumer can come up with, hence providing a human-like personalized approach towards the customer conversation, right? Last but not the least is assisting human agents to perform quick and accurate automate response actions, because only the complicated and only wherever there is a human requirement to be done, those sort of a 10% or 5% actions are sent to the human agent, right? And these are few analyst recognitions which we have been put forth, right, by Gartner, G2, Everest Group, Frost and Sullivan, IDC, right, who have named us as a niche player in the Gartner Magic Quadrant, which was one of a very rare mention, an important mention for us. Also, as one of the major contender in conversational AI vendor landscape by Everest Group, are few of the mentions we have. And I think most of you know about G2, right? And then we have got mentioned twice in G2 platform. So yeah, and the last but not the least, a very quick walkthrough about how the platform overall looks like. So we have the dynamic AI agent where the intelligence is powered through with the NLU, NLP, the intent recognition, the dynamic NLP learning models and stuff. In the front end, there are these channels on which the bot is deployed on, or the IVA is deployed on. And in the backend, we have the capability to integrate with different systems, right? It could be Oracle systems, Workday, SAP, Salesforce, ServiceNow, you name it, whatever your organization uses, we have the capability to integrate with a click, and then also power and enable a human plus AI model within the same platform by giving your agents access on the same platform to take up those 5% or 10% of queries which come from the IVA directly to the agent to solve the scenarios. So, and also to follow for the businesses, we also have smart insights with which you can measure the performance, ROI, CSAT, first response time, and other key conversational analytics related to this entire automation solution for the business. So I think this is where uh, I would take a pause and then uh, pass it on to Mas Ardian on the call to take it up from here.
All right. Thank you very much, Heron. Very good presentation today. So, everyone see my screen now? Okay. Everyone, good afternoon. I hope everyone here staying safe and healthy today. So, I'm very glad to be part of the webinar event today in collaboration by Telin, Yellow.ai, and Tech in Asia. Let me introduce myself. I'm Ardian, Head of Digital Platform Enabler at Telin. So today I would like to talk about 360-degree communication platform as a service, or we call this CPaaS, which can deliver CX conversational AI platform for brand across the globe. Well, so first thing first, what is CPaaS? In a nutshell, CPaaS basically is this platform that enable developer to add real-time communication feature to their own application without needing to build uh, backend infrastructure. Basically, CPaaS is like the middleware platform that can connect it to the telco infrastructure to the enterprise layers. In this case of our CPaaS new IPX, as you can see here, we can deliver into two big general product, which is in the left side, we can deliver the IPI programmable, and the left side, we can, in the right side, we can deliver customer experience, conversational AI's capabilities. So, I would like to discuss about why do businesses or organization need CPaaS. So then let's take a look at the background about the key challenge and the pain point that currently enterprise face. Communication is the I think heart of today business world, right? And also the key differentiator in the dynamic and the competitive environment, especially after the post pandemic. A decade-long digital transformation roadmap of almost every businesses got compressed, into weeks, even days. In order to fast adapt because of the COVID-19 effect. Based on the research that I got, in digital engagement report, around 46% businesses said it is extremely critical to transform their digital communication to address the business challenge during the pandemic. And also, according to the McKinsey report, the digital transformation, I think during the pandemic, businesses have increased around 80% in their online channel. Furthermore, this trend of communication are here stay even bigger after the pandemic. Not to mention that the almost 60% of the generation now in the largest part of the global consumer market, I believe, they have used the social messaging application to contact brand or customer service, right? This is quite interesting. Also, it is understandable, since the generation now is very, very digital savvy. They were born in the era of smartphone and other high-tech devices with the artificial intelligence like in the market like Siri, Alexa, Google Assistant, and so on. In result, they need more attention currently. Sometimes they are impatient. They are extremely comfortable with self-serve, right? And expect more personalized engagement. And again, more importantly, they are more prefer using social media messenger as their main tools to contact to the customer service. And I think businesses in every industry have to prepare, right? Have to prepare to reach their customer seamlessly, real time, even across channel to enhance customer experience, right? So when we talking about the customer experience, I think for today presentation, I would like to sharing in more how to create a good customer experience. I would like to mention about the four key elements at least. One is that please understand your customer. I think the first step in building the customer experience is that understanding your customer need and behavior. So the CX team can develop customer profile to understand the market and what target market. So whatever the profiling, for example, like how you can segment it based on interest, based on spending habit, based on location, whatever it is, the customer profiling, you need to define first. Next is create a customer vision. So the CX leader should create a customer journey map. This is also important to identify the customer touch point and anticipate how customer will interact with businesses. The third one is building the customer relationship and also creating the memorable brand. This is quite important because of creating the brand personality that create emotion and connection for customer to help establish relationship actually between the customer and brand. Last but not least, you need to capture customer feedback. This is quite important to measure customer satisfaction in real time. So to enhance customer experience to be more successful, I think in summarize require 360-degree view of customer with integrated and up-to-date customer profile, something like this. And then, so what is the solution that business owner, I mean the enterprise, must prepare to compete in the era of pandemic and also to enhance the customer experience? So the answer is that they need to redefining the way businesses interact with customer through collective intelligence of human and AI to provide personalized engagement for customer. As you can see in the live picture, initially the conventional customer service, sometimes they have a broken journey. So for now, I think customer really expect they need to have easy to access brand owner quickly, seamlessly, and integrated. This all due to can deliver via intelligent customer experience automation, that collaboration between the real human agent and machine with the AI's capabilities. This is more on the our CX platform unique value proposition. I think also already mentioned by Heron, but I want to more emphasize on the how the platform flexibility to deliver like one automation process. Second, how this platform can provide the bot studio with multiple language capability in terms of NLP engines. So if you have requirement like multiple language like Bahasa, English, or later on you will have requirement like a Malay or Chinese, Cantonese. We do have to support this kind of requirement. And the other one, this platform have capability also for omnichannel agent assist dashboard, programmable API, and not to mention this, also the capability have to pre-integrated with the CRM industry leading to the market like Zendesk, Freshdesk, and the other one. More importantly, also we can guarantee the privacy, security, and compliance of its customer with the certified GDPR and others certification. Well, this is what we have served more than 100 customer across Southeast Asia in many sectors. As you can see, in the retail we have Matahari, Mall, Zalora, GDID, Sephora. For banking, we have in payment sector. Also, we have Bank Jago, BFI Finance, Mitrans. This is collaboration between Telin and Yellow. And more industries such manufacturing, I think electronic media, cosmetic, and also telecommunication. So, last but not least, with help from our CPAS new IPX, I think you have everything you need to build your communication solution. Again, step into the future of customer experience with our world-class communication platform as a service. I think that's all from my side. Thank you, everyone. Back to you, uh, host.
Thank you, Ardian, for the presentation. Also, thank you, Heron. The first one for the presentation, we just gotta make sure how to get the customer happy, but also the employees as well. Thank you for the great presentation so far. Let's hear some of the best practices from Talent's Batik experience, and then followed by the Yellow AI that will talk about the retail customer experience point of view. Let's see the first use case that we can see from Mas Ovi. Talking about Batik, it's one of Talent's event. The floor is yours, Mas Ovi. You can share about your customer experience from Batik point of view.
Hi, my name is Ovi from Batik Registration Team. I'm using a new Epic chatbot and send it solution for registration in Batik. Before I use new Epic solution on the registration part, our customer doing any task related to the registration thing only rely on the web chat feature. The journey like the common journey that customer need to go to the website and fill the form. Some of customer maybe have a difficulty with this journey to filling this form. But with new Epic and Send It solution, we found that the customer have a better customer experience. By using the simple chatbot, they could do the registration until the payment. It personalized the registration into the customer, seems like they interact personally with the customer service. So that will create the excellent customer experience. Thanks to new Epic and Send It solution, we recommend this to any company that want to personalize their interaction and increase their customer experience for their customer to boost the transaction.
Thank you, Ovi, for your sharing about Batik and telling you epics. Next up, we have Heron that will also discuss about Sephora and Zalora from Yellow AI. Heron, please take it away.
All right. Now we jump on to two key case studies of Yellow.ai, which has been implemented across Asia Pacific as a region. And we are going to today tackle and discuss about two concrete case studies, which are a huge testimonials in the field of retail and consumer goods. One to start with will be the brand Sephora, right? While we discussed about pandemic and the do's and don'ts and the issues we had to go through during the pandemic, uh, the sort of problems which have come up during pandemic include the direct to consumer issues, right? Where the consumers had real difficulties in getting connected with the brands on site and doing the purchase, which took a massive hit on the retail spends and and the number of sales which has happened for these brands. That's when Yellow AI worked with the brand's Fora in enabling a truly omni-channel presence for the brand, which was both across in-store and digital channels to start with. Okay, okay. To just go take a step back and discuss the main issue for a brand like Sephora, which was running its beauty shopping experience and cosmetic experience, was that while pandemic, the consumers were not attracted to walk into any stores of Sephora across Singapore, Indonesia, and multiple countries in which they had their presence, predominantly across Southeast Asia. Right now, the challenge for Yellow AI was to provide seamless, personalized shopping experience by understanding the customer requests and to provide that detailed and pinpointed accuracy of purchase or sale for these end consumers so that they are doing the right purchase and the sort of purchase which they would do if they were in the store of Sephora, right? Now, for this, Yellow.ai introduced their shopping virtual assistants. In short, we call it direct to consumers virtual assistants, right? It could cater and be on top of multiple channels of Sephora's choice. Now, that included the likes of Instagram, WhatsApp, right? Traditional websites of Sephora, like the websites and mobile app, on which the consumers could come and freely talk, and predominant channels of which was WhatsApp. Now, how the conversation happened was the customers could freely come onto channels like WhatsApp, message, and get connected to a in-store assistant who was a virtual beauty advisor for them, right? Who could jump onto the chat, understand the prerequisites of the consumer in terms of each and every detail, and then suggest and show products digitally online, in which the consumer could make their respective choice and end up doing their end-to-end purchase on the virtual assistant. So this has created a humongous impact for Sephora pre, during pandemic and post-pandemic scenarios as well, where Sephora is now able to massively scale across the region. We ourselves have observed few millions of conversations happening annually on these across these channels with the virtual assistant. The bot accuracy, which started at 88-90%, has now surpassed 98% of accuracy in terms of understanding the problem statement and the requirement of the end consumers. More than more than 6,000 to 7,000 consumers were attractive and sales happened online, which made sure that Sephora's sales kept continuously on track during this pandemic with a strong revenue pipeline through these sales. So this is about Sephora. Now we move on to the next case study, which is for one of massive brand in retail and consumer goods again, which is Zalora, right? The problem of statement for Zalora was way too similar as well, right? In this case, it was more from a customer retention and experience standpoint rather than customer acquisition to the widely spread as a brand like Zalora, right? Which was omnichannelly available and stuff, and had customer base across Asia Pacific. It was very important to retain these customers and make sure they were repetitive customers who kept on coming and redoing their purchase. For that, Zalora as a brand had to give a truly omni-channel but native experience for their end consumers. When I say native, it was mostly being available for their customers in their channel of choice and in speak in their language of, of, of conversation, which typically was like providing their own customer service agents, which could understand the historic purchase of Zalora or the consumers within Zalora, right? And make sure and provide or suggest right purchases as a follow-up to their historic purchase module. Now, this was a very strong problem statement, right? Which is mostly to expand the 3 million plus customer base in Asia, right? And also make sure that these customer base is also retained for long. For this, Yellow deployed a bot or a virtual assistant, intelligent virtual assistant across the traditional channels of Zalora, which is mostly their website, mobile app and also on their own WhatsApp channel, right? With as less human intervention as possible, as the bot was massively smart, as it's a human-like virtual assistant, which could do multiple use cases, starting from tracking orders into processing refunds and returns, right? And precisely in multiple languages, like consumers who dealt or spoke with Zalora Indonesia, the bot conversed in Bahasa Indonesia. For a lot of customers across Singapore, the bot conversed in Mandarin and also was available in the common language like English, in which it understood multiple utterances and intents. If the conversation was a bit broken or the words were misspelled, also, right? That's what brought in the massive intelligence from Yellow's NLP engine, dynamic NLP engine, into these bots or virtual assistant deployed for 6 to 7 or more countries of Zellora's availability across Southeast Asia, right? And then you all can see on the screen Mr. Kannar Rajaratnam's testimonial, which said about our deployment towards Zellora, right? So that's the sort of an impact where we contributed to close to 10 to 15% of increase in net retention revenue or net new revenue for Zalora, right? More than a quarter million agent cost saving per quarter on quarter, right? And more than literally more than 7.2 million plus conversations per year were recorded on our virtual assistant across Asia, which were deployed for Zalora as a brand. So these two are few predominant retail, consumer good, and commerce use cases which are live and deployed across Asia Pacific by Yellow AI in this massive geography.
Thank you so much, Heron and Ofi, for sharing with us about the experience both from Batik, one of the AI that they use for the customers, and also for the Zalora and Sephora that the Yellow AI use. We definitely need to know how to make sure the customer are happy as long as the staff, our staff itself. All right. We already have some question from the audience. Let's call again Ardian and Heron to the virtual stage. And meanwhile, we have another quick poll for our lovely audience that's still curiously listening from the beginning until now. Just a quick question while we call Ardian and Heron to the stage. The quick poll is just wondering about, for now, do you guys are looking to enhance or transform the customer experience for your brand? If it's something that you like to know more, please keep listening or drop your message or question to our question and answer columns. And yes, we have Ardian and Heron. Hello guys, welcome back. Thank you for the presentation. We already have some question from audience, but before we keep going from the audience, I just want to know first from Ardian, why should businesses actually invest in customer experience? Because some of the audience is actually interested in this matter, but they want to know why.
All right. Thanks, Dini, for the question. I think that one is quite interesting. When we talk about the why businesses should invest, because I need to explain like how the method. Basically, I believe every company already did. Every they want to invest some infrastructure or some platform. I think first thing first, you need to identify like the cost and benefit ratio analysis, right? So I think you need to identify cost platform and compare to the benefit of the solution, CX solution. I mean, so I think today I want to more sharing about what is the benefit if you later on will compare to the cost of the platform. The benefit in this case here, I would like to start with why. Why basically the company need to invest again to CX. I think one is that you know, I got this some proven reason, the benefit of investing in the customer experience. Basically, I got from interviewing some the customer, also got from the CXs. Basically, the reason is benefit is one, with the good CX, basically can make customer your long-term loyals. What I mean is that a great customer experience can get you in the long-term loyal customer. So for the loyal customer are very valuable actually for your business, right? And then once who can promote your brand actually with your other customer, with your friend, with your family. Moreover, a loyal customer will lead to more sales and generate more revenue. Of course, to boost your business. And the second one is that the benefit is higher cross sell and upsell potential, I believe. Why? A company with a good customer experience, I think, is most likely to increase sales because of customer will try out more uh, in the product and services. I mean, in the try out the other product and services. They will more explore. They will more curious about your product and services because of your good customer experience. The third one is, um, I think, can improve and maintain the brand image for sure. But again, you need to build something like what your customer needs. Something like not only CX creating your company needs, but the important thing is the customer needs. The other one, the benefit is that I think a great customer experience can help your brand stand out from the competition. So you can create a value differentiator with the other competitor because of you have the very good experience in this case here. Last but not least, I think uh, when you get the good customer experience, I believe I got from other research as well. Uh, to win a new customer basically is around 2 or 7 times more expensive than to keep the current one. Meaning, say if you have the good customer experience, I think can increase your customer retention, right? So in this case here, you can reduce the expense on the new customer acquisition. I think that's the some reason, Dini, that I can share why some businesses worth it to invest in the customer experience. Last but not least, again, when you build some customer experience, again, not only consideration in the technology, because again, technology just enabler for your business, right? So I think first thing first you need to consider is that how this technology can enable your business with fit with your customer behavior and experience. That's all maybe from my side, Dini.
Thank you, Ardian. It was actually a bit what I was gonna ask for Haran as well. We definitely understand that the better customer experience, it's what we're looking for, better revenue. It's what we all hoping for our businesses here. And that's clear the question before. I actually have several questions from the audience, both Zoom and YouTube. But for Heron, we're wondering first, can you integrate the bot with the other third-party solutions, system, and technologies? Like, is it
Absolutely.
something complicated, or yeah? Can you quick explain it before we go to audience questions?
Yeah, I think that's a great question, guys. I think the way the platform is built also is in the way that integrating with any third-party solution or backend systems is just with a click of a button, right? And we already have since our 1 decade, last 1 decade of R&D which we have done, We already have built out of the box integrations with lot of systems. It could be Salesforce systems, Oracle systems, Workday, right? Multiple CRMs, different kind of solutions, right? We have out of the box integrations already built. And if there is any other native system by any chance that we are not exposed to, it's a simple it's a simple API integration kind of a thing from Yellow's platform, right? So to answer the question straight, it is just clicks of a button to do these backend integrations using Yellow AI platform. That's it.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Aaron, for that. We actually have next questions coming for you first. Hi, Heron. What kind of trend that you think is shaping next generation of CX?
Oh, that's a great question, right? I think next generation CX is mostly buried, or it's not buried. I think next generation CX is more focused towards, uh, I think these typical CX metrics in a more sharper way, right? In terms of the first response time, the CSAT score, the customer retention score, the customer net revenue, right? Net revenue retention, and then the scale of customer revenue scale or growth, right? I think that's where it is more focused towards the next gen CX. And I think where we sit into as a technology provider is exactly into the powering next gen CX, right? Whether it is using our intelligent virtual assistants to provide a human like uh, customer service, whether it is providing the CX agents of businesses, empowering them to handle more complicated queries with a faster response time without being there for every small query, providing that intelligence in the virtual assistant to understand every consumers. I know that every bank today has millions of consumers and have the plans to onboard spread across the globe, based out of Indonesia, based out of any part of. I think we are building for globe, right? That's the way the brands are approaching now, and to be able to tackle and to be able to handle each and every consumer with a personalized approach as per their needs is today's focus of brands, right? I think in that direction is where the next gen CX is headed towards, which is clear and well driven personalization for every consumer of a brand. And I think collaborating with Telin Yellow AI kind of actually seals that deal, right? And I think businesses need not worry about that at all in terms of providing omni channel, uh, NLP driven, dynamic, intelligent virtual agents which will behave like a human and provide end to end customer experience to your end users. I think that's where we are headed towards.
Thank you so much for that, Heron. It's actually coming for the next question that I think some of our audience was reading the Even Bright description, and this is question for both of you. They want to know if you can both elaborate more the implementation of conversation AI on financial industry. So maybe
I think,
Ardian. Oh yeah, Heron, you can go first. Yeah,
yeah, I'm so sorry. I'll just
no
take
worries.
it first,
Sure.
Park Artian, right? I think as Park Artian showed in his slides, right, we have been working with few financial companies already, right? I think in Indonesia we have good, good set of customers whom we are working towards the financial industry. The use cases could be applying loans, applying in insurance sector. You can check if you're capable for a certain insurance or not. What is the process to onboard or get this insurance onboarded? Financial sector, it's like we are. By the way, we are working with the largest payment UPI payment companies in Indonesia, right? And for them, we are helping. We are supporting the CX on their traditional mobile app channels. That if there is an issue in the transaction, if the transactions are stuck, if there's some heavy transaction is stuck, how does the bot get involved and then help the consumer that, hey, you know what, we are refunding this transaction or this transaction will be processed ahead, right? So there are a lot of complicated use cases we see in financial services, and these use cases are pretty sensitive, right? They require, the customers are very worried anything happens in these transactions, and they expect some quick response time and quick resolution time when it comes to financial services industries, or banking as an industry, or even insurance as an industry, right? So there is huge scope for these industries, and we are working with a lot of them in empowering a lot of transactional use cases as well. I mean, using our virtual assistants, we have seen people applying for loans, we have seen people applying for insurance, we have seen people doing banking transactions, we have seen people engaging on tri-party transactions being sent, payment being sent from 2 3 parties here and there just through the bot. And these bots have all kind of security backing in terms of single sign-on and different kinds of authentication to make sure every transaction is secure. So I think financial services is one of the quick adopter and massive user of conversational intelligence and virtual assistants. And I think we have powered a lot of brands also on the same direction, and we see impeccable growth in that industry for front end automation.
Thank you so much, Sharon, for that. As Ardian, you have something else to add because I understand you both collaborated on this financial industry.
All right. Thanks, Dini. So yeah, as mentioned by Heron, basically at especially in the BSFI industry, I think a lot of use cases that we can deliver in terms of CX solution. The key point is that automation. I think how this platform can enable the automation their business process. That's the key point that I want to highlight. With the automation and AI's capability, I think can deliver many use cases in financial industry. For example, one is that how this platform can handle and automate the registration process. So I believe registration or KYC profile can deliver smoothly and seamlessly if we can do the automate. Let's say customer without any present to need to go to the real branch office, so they can just typing using whatever channel they prefers. Like maybe in Indonesia, for example, WhatsApp is quite dominant. So with the WhatsApp, they can just registration, for example, using chat and with help chatbot. After registration, then with this platform also can more elaborate with another use case like billing reminder, for example, combination between chatbot and voice bot. Let's say with the voice bot, we can broadcast automatically to the many of user, like just bot to collect and deliver information to the consumer, like to remind them about the billing statement and so on. With this automation, I think again, I think in financial industry, this is will more happening, and also really needs to implement soon as possible, considering financial industry also need to be more again disruptor in this financial market, right? So I believe the automation is the key to deliver the CX in terms of financial industry. Yeah.
I think I couldn't agree more because on this fintech financial industry, like all this form that used to be so long and it's very complicated. I guess it will be helpful if we have this AI chatbot that will help customer to feel even slightly smoother. More question, I think we'll be a couple more left. For Mas Ardian again, which sector do you think that has the most demand actually for the conversation automation and why?
Uh, well, I would say in terms of demand, I think quite variant, yeah. But I would say to separate into the segment of market, small medium enterprise, especially, they have a lot of demand, especially in the in industry like as you mentioned, financial industry. For now is very quite big in the demand. Also, the logistic also is quite big demand because of especially in the era of post pandemic, e-commerce transaction of course will increase, and then the logistic also uh, got some impact because of transaction online in e-commerce quite increase. So in logistic, I think they have some many requirement to automate their business process and to enhance customer experience in this case, because of in logistic there are a lot of use case again. Let's say how you can monitor, can monitor something like the current status tracking of this shipment and goods, something like this. Other than logistic, I think the quite demand for the e-commerce sector. I think the e-commerce now they want to enhance in terms of channel. Previously, some e-commerce only depend with their application and also with the web-based chat. But now the e-commerce set want to expand in terms of many channel other than application or web, including like social media messengers, WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, and also Instagram direct message. This is also quite interesting because currently Instagram direct message already open API, so we can utilize to generate like chatbot via Instagram direct message to the e-commerce. So to answer your question, Dini, I think very demand quite interesting in the sector e-commerce, financial, also from the logistic one. Yeah.
Thank you so much for that, Ardian. I think logistic is definitely we all like feeling it during the pandemic, where all this online e-commerce that we order and everything. That's what customer wants to know to get it right and fast.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. I think there's actually some more question asking about some challenges and everything, even the ROI. But since we already passed 5 p.m. Jakarta time, one last question for all. Hi all, based on your experience, what is the key preparation before implement AI conversational strategy or human resource? Maybe we can go with Heron first, and then we can close by Ardian. Or maybe Heron, can you hear us? If it's some trouble, we can go with Heron, can you hear us? Okay, let's go with Mas Ardian first. If you want to share your thoughts on this.
All right. All right, Dini. So basically the question is that sorry, come again the question.
Oh, it's key preparation before implement the AI.
Okay. Okay. I think if I may suggest some businesses or organization enterprise, uh, I think you guys need to identify in three aspect, which is one, people, process, and technology. Something like similar with how you want to implement your digital transformation, something like this, because the key point for the CX customer experience, basically, you want to transform from the legacy one to be more in the digital aspect, right? So I think once people is more on the mindset, how mindset from your resources, from your people, to be more agile, to be more digital savvy. And then with this new mindset, I think again you will be get some same story. You will be get some tone, and that okay, you need to adapt more agile in terms of how you need to automate your SC process. And then second thing, beside people, you need to assess for the process. What does it mean, process? Process means you need to identify your current business process that have some weaknesses. Again, this is need to be more openly discussion because of you need to identify your weakness. This is not quite easy because you need to find out what is your weakness of the current business process. Weakness means you also will get some your pain point basically. After you get the pain point on the current business process, then I believe you will get some idea how to automate the current business process, right? After you get the your pain point, and then you have some idea to automate your existing business process, then last but not least, you will map into the technology. You need to map to the platform or solution. Why the technology and platform solution? My intention to mention to the last point, because of, again, technology is enabler your business, right? You need to analyze to identify first your pain point, your people mindset, and then again in the last step, you need to assess technology or solution, what technology or what solution that quite fit with your current problem. You no need to, find out very sophisticated solution. You no need to find out very high tech solution, but the good solution or technology actually the one that quite fit and solve your current problem, your current pain point. So again, they need to sum up the my statement, basically how to prepare key preparation before implement AI. Actually, again, you need to consider 3 point: people, mindset, process, and technology to transform your current business process to be more automated. That's all, Dini.
Thank you, Ardian. I think Heron is back. So before we sum it up, can you hear us well now, Heron?
Yeah, sure. I think I'll add only 2 cents on this, right? I think based on the question, my opinion is before implementing AI, I think you need not worry about having your resources aligned for that. It's okay if you just strategize and decide that as an organization you want to implement AI. That's more than enough. I think platforms today, whether it is Talent's product or Yellow's platform today, and the way we collaborate and integrate, it has become so seamless to work on, right? That is, we can do our end-to-end integration and take any sort of a business and their respective use case live. I think that's a great question, right? Because I've seen a lot of businesses worrying about, should we spend a lot of team members? Should we assign a team? Should we worry about the number of resources we are allocating for this project? No, all that is not required. Only thing required is where do you put automation or AI in your roadmap for your organization? As soon as you can, as better would be your increase in sale numbers or your increase in retention and customer experience numbers. I can very confidently say that it's not a people issue at all. It is only the strategizing on when does the business strategize to have this in the roadmap. As soon the business can, I think as brilliant would be their automation journey. That's my take on this question.
Thank you so much, Heron and Ardian, for this. It's basically the platform and the technology is already there. Even Talent and Yellow Eyes can help you to make sure your customer experience gonna be well. Just make sure what is your pain point, what is actually you want to clear and make sure no more problem and your customer and your staff is gonna be happy. Thank you so much, guys, for your time and explanation today. Thank you for the lovely audience that also staying with us. It was absolutely a pleasure and to learn more from both Talent and Yellow AI. For all of you that are already watching from home or your office, thank you so much. As we learn about customer experience, we want to know more also about your feedback. What do you guys think that we can improve? Or if you guys have more questions for both Talent or Yellow AI, please also drop in on the feedback. We will gladly to follow up with you. Thank you again for everyone. Thank you for Talent and Yellow AI team to make sure that this event is possible and smooth. Take care, everyone. Stay safe. My name is Dini, and see you on our next event.